Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the English Island podcast, your calm space where we don't just learn English, we also learn how to understand life in a deeper way. I'm Elle.
And I'm Ray. Before we start today's episode, we just want to say thank you. Because you didn't just click on this episode, you chose to be here, to listen, to grow, to improve yourself slowly. And that already says something important about you.
Yeah, it means you're not just passing time, you're actually trying to change something in your life, even if it doesn't feel big yet.
And today's episode is not a normal one. It's not about grammar, not about vocabulary. It's about something much more real.
It's about your life and why it hasn't changed even when you wanted it to.
Ray, I feel like you have that I made another late-night decision face again.
Why do you always know? Because it always looks the same. Go on, what happened?
Okay, I'll admit it. Last night, I told myself, today I will sleep early. No phone, no distractions.
Sounds responsible so far.
Yes, very responsible. But then I just picked up my phone for a few minutes, and suddenly it was 2:10 a.m., and I was watching a video called How Ants Build Underground Cities.
Ray, you were supposed to fix your life and instead you became an ant city expert?
Exactly. And I don't even go outside enough to meet ants.
That's the problem with modern life. We don't destroy our lives in big moments. We lose them in small distractions.
Yes, and that's exactly where today's conversation begins.
Let's be honest. When people say, I want to change my life, what do they actually mean?
Most of the time, they don't mean a completely new life. They just mean, I want my current life to feel lighter, easier, better.
Yes, because life doesn't fall apart in one moment. It becomes heavy slowly.
Through small things, delaying work, avoiding effort, repeating comfort habits, ignoring small responsibilities.
And nothing looks dramatic from outside, but inside, it feels like something is stuck.
And that's why people think change needs something big, a new year, a new plan, a new motivation.
But real change doesn't start big. It starts quietly, in a very small decision.
A decision like, I will do this now, even if I don't feel like it.
You know, Ray, I think most people misunderstand change. Completely. They think change is a moment, like something magical will happen one day, and suddenly life becomes different.
Yeah, like a switch. On equals new life, off equals old life. But it never works like that.
Exactly. Because life doesn't have a switch. It has patterns. And patterns are built slowly, without noise.
That's actually scary when you think about it. Because it means most people are not stuck suddenly. They are slowly shaped into being stuck.
Yes. And the problem is, you don't notice it happening. You just feel it later. Like, why am I still here?
And then people start blaming themselves. They say things like, I have no discipline, I am lazy, I am not good enough.
But that's not always the truth. Sometimes it's not about who you are, it's about what you repeat.
Yes, because repetition is stronger than intention. You can intend to change your life, but if your repetition stays the same, nothing changes.
Let's take a simple example. Imagine someone says, I will wake up early from tomorrow.
Sounds good. Very powerful intention.
But then the same person sleeps late again because of phone, videos, scrolling, distraction.
So what wins? Intention or repetition?
Repetition always wins. Every single time.
And that's the hidden truth of life. You don't become what you decide, you become what you repeatedly allow.
That line hits differently when you really think about it.
Yeah, because it removes illusion. No excuses, no fantasy, just pattern.
And Ray, I thought there's another layer here. People don't just repeat actions, they repeat feelings too.
What do you mean?
Like, some people repeat stress, some people repeat overthinking, some people repeat avoidance.
So habits are not just physical, they're emotional loops too.
Exactly, and that's why breaking them feels so hard, because you're not just changing action, you're changing comfort.
That's powerful, because even unhealthy habits give something in return. Comfort, escape, distraction, relief.
Yes, even if that comfort is temporary.
So when someone tries to change their life, They're not just fighting habits, they're fighting comfort itself.
And comfort doesn't give up easily. It convinces you. It says, just one more day. Start tomorrow. You are tired today.
And tomorrow becomes a pattern, not a date.
Exactly. And slowly, life starts feeling repetitive. Same thoughts, same actions, same results.
And then people ask, why is nothing changing? But they're living the same loop every day.
Ray, I think this is the moment where people either realize something or ignore it again.
Yeah, because awareness is uncomfortable. It shows you what you've been avoiding.
But maybe discomfort is not the enemy here. Maybe it's the signal.
A signal that something needs to change.
And this is where real change begins. Not with motivation, but with awareness.
Because you can't fix what you don't see.
And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So maybe the real question is not, why can't I change my life?
The real question is, what am I repeating every day without realizing it?
Because that repetition is your real life.
Not your dreams, not your plans, but your patterns.
Ray, I think now we understand something important. It's not just about habits anymore. It feels deeper.
Yeah, because habits are just surface level. Under them, there is something stronger. Identity.
Exactly. Because you don't act randomly every day. You act according to who you believe you are.
That's true. If someone believes, I am lazy, they behave lazy. If someone believes, I am disciplined, they behave differently.
And the scary part is, most people never question their identity. They just accept it.
Yeah, they don't say, I am building my life. They say, this is just who I am.
But Ray, identity is not fixed. It is created every single day.
Yes, through repetition, through choices, through actions.
So technically, you are not stuck. You are just repeating an old version of yourself.
That's a powerful shift in thinking because it removes the idea of, I can't change.
Right. It replaces it with, I haven't changed yet.
And that yet changes everything.
But here's the real question, Ray. If identity is changeable, why do people stay in the same version for so long?
Because comfort protects identity. Even if the identity is weak, it feels familiar.
So people don't stay stuck because they love suffering. They stay stuck because they fear unfamiliarity.
Exactly. Even a bad identity feels safe because it's known.
That's deep. So change feels like losing yourself first before becoming something better.
Yes, that uncomfortable phase in between is where most people quit.
Because in that phase, you are no longer the old you, but not fully the new you either.
That's the identity gap.
And it feels confusing, even empty sometimes.
But that's actually transformation happening, silently.
Right. I think this is where people need patience the most.
Yeah, because identity doesn't change instantly. It changes through evidence.
Evidence?
Yes, every time you do something small that matches your new identity, you build proof.
So, like, I am a disciplined person becomes real only when you act disciplined repeatedly.
Exactly. Not by saying it, by proving it.
That means change is not emotional, it's mathematical.
Yes, add enough small proofs and identity changes automatically.
But most people try opposite. They wait for motivation first.
And motivation is unstable. It comes and goes.
So if you depend on motivation, your life becomes unstable too.
Exactly. That's why consistency is more important than intensity.
See that again.
Consistency builds identity. Intensity burns it.
That's powerful.
So the real change is not, do I feel ready? It is, can I repeat this one action again tomorrow?
And that's much quieter, but much stronger.
Yes, because life doesn't change in loud moments. It changes in repeated silent ones.
So maybe now the idea is clear. You don't need a new life, you need a new repetition.
And that repetition will slowly become your identity.
And your identity will shape your life.
So everything starts from something small.
Ray, I think we keep talking about habits and identity, but there's something still deeper holding people back.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Comfort.
Exactly. Because even when people know what to do, they still don't do it.
Not because they don't understand, but because they don't want to leave comfort.
And comfort is tricky. It doesn't feel dangerous. It feels safe.
Yes,
But sometimes what feels safe is actually what is keeping you stuck.
Like staying in bed even when you plan to wake up early.
Or scrolling your phone when you said you would work.
Or delaying something important just because you are not in the mood.
And slowly, comfort starts making decisions for you.
That's scary because you don't even notice when control shifts.
Yes, at first, it's a choice. Later, it becomes a habit. And finally, it becomes identity.
So comfort doesn't just relax you, it reshapes you.
Exactly. And the biggest trap is this. Comfort gives relief now, but takes future away slowly.
Ray, I feel like most people live in this loop without realizing it.
They do, because comfort never says, I'm destroying your future. It says, just one more time.
That's how it tricks you. Soft language repeated slowly.
And that's why breaking comfort feels painful, because you're not just changing an action, you're breaking a pattern your brain trusts.
So discomfort is not failure, it's transition.
Yes, discomfort is what change feels like in real time.
But most people interpret it wrong. They think if it feels hard, it must be wrong.
But actually, if it feels hard, it might be new.
That's a big difference.
And this is where most people turn back, because the brain prefers familiar pain over unfamiliar growth.
Familiar pain, that's an interesting phrase.
Yeah, because even suffering can feel comfortable if it is known.
So people don't always chase happiness, they sometimes chase familiarity.
Exactly, even if familiarity is holding them back.
Right, so what breaks the cycle?
Small resistance.
Small resistance.
Yes, not big dramatic change, just small moments where you don't obey comfort.
Like doing the task even when you don't feel like it.
Exactly. That's how control comes back.
So you don't fight comfort all at once, you interrupt it slowly.
Yes, because comfort is built slowly, so it breaks slowly too.
That makes it feel more realistic, less overwhelming.
And that's the key. Change doesn't require extreme energy. It requires consistent interruption.
Ray, I think this explains why people try so many new starts, but nothing changes.
Because they restart life, but don't interrupt comfort.
That's the missing piece.
Yeah, and until that changes, everything stays the same.
So maybe now we understand something important.
That change is not about motivation.
Like doing the task even when you don't feel like it.
Exactly. That's how control comes back.
So you don't fight comfort all at once, you interrupt it slowly.
Yes, because comfort is built slowly, so it breaks slowly too.
That makes it feel more realistic, less overwhelming.
And that's the key. Change doesn't require extreme energy. It requires consistent interruption.
Ray, I think this explains why people try so many new starts, but nothing changes.
Because they restart life, but don't interrupt comfort.
That's the missing piece.
Yeah, and until that changes, everything stays the same.
So maybe now we understand something important.
That change is not about motivation.
It's about resisting comfort in small moments.
Again and again.
Ray, there's something we haven't talked about yet, and I think it's affecting almost everyone today.
Let me guess. Distractions?
Exactly. But not just normal distractions. I mean constant distractions.
Yeah. It's like we are always available for everything except our own life.
That's a powerful line, because think about it. From the moment you wake up, something is already waiting for your attention.
Yes. Your phone, notifications, messages, videos, news, everything is calling you.
And slowly, your attention is not yours anymore.
It gets divided again and again, all day long.
And Ray, I feel like people underestimate this. They think, it's just entertainment.
But it's not just entertainment anymore. It's a habit loop.
Habit loop?
Yes, you feel boredom, you open phone, you get stimulation, brain feels relief, repeat.
So boredom is the trigger, and distraction becomes the response.
Exactly. And over time, your brain stops tolerating silence.
That's scary, because silence is where thinking happens.
Yes. And without thinking, there is no clarity.
So people are not just losing time, they're losing clarity.
Exactly. And without clarity, life feels confusing even when nothing is wrong.
Ray, I think this explains why people feel busy but empty.
Yes, because being busy doesn't mean being focused.
You can be busy all day, but still move nowhere.
That's modern life in one sentence.
And the worst part is, distraction feels harmless.
Yes, it never feels like a problem in the moment. It feels like just 5 minutes.
But those 5 minutes repeat and become hours.
And hours become lifestyle.
So slowly, attention becomes fragmented.
And fragmented attention creates fragmented life.
Ray, I think this is why people struggle to change.
Yes, because change needs focus. And focus needs attention.
And attention is the first thing being taken away.
Exactly. That's the real challenge.
So what's the solution? Because we can't just stop using everything.
No, that's unrealistic.
Then what?
We need intentional attention,
Meaning?
choosing when to give attention instead of reacting to everything.
So, not automatic scrolling, but conscious usage?
Exactly. Even small moments of awareness can break the loop.
Like putting your phone away while eating.
Yes. Or doing one task without switching between 5 things.
That sounds simple, but also difficult in today's world.
That's why it matters, because simple things are the hardest to maintain.
Ray, I think we are slowly coming to a bigger truth.
Yeah, everything is connected. Habits, identity, comfort, distraction.
All of them are shaping the same thing, your life direction.
Exactly. And that direction is built silently, every day.
So maybe the real change is not in doing more,
But in paying attention to what already controls you.
and slowly taking it back. Ray, I want to talk about something real now. Something a lot of people don't openly say.
Burnout?
Yes, but also something connected to it. Overthinking and quietly giving up.
Yeah, that combination is more common than people think.
Because from outside, people still look normal.
They still go to work, study, smile, talk.
But inside, they are already tired, mentally exhausted.
And the strange part is, they don't even know when it started.
Yes, it doesn't start like a breakdown. It starts like pressure, small pressure, every day.
Like feeling behind even when nothing is wrong.
Or thinking too much about simple things. Replaying conversations, imagining outcomes, creating problems in the mind. That's overthinking.
And it drains energy without doing anything.
Exactly.
You don't even move, but you feel tired.
Ray, I think this is why people stop trying. Not because they are lazy, but because they are mentally overloaded.
Yes, because when your mind is full, even small tasks feel heavy.
And then something happens. People stop starting things.
They don't quit loudly. They quit quietly.
That phrase hits differently. Quiet quitting.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like failure. It looks like taking a break.
But the break never ends.
Exactly. And slowly, momentum disappears.
Ray, why do people not notice this happening?
Because it feels normal. That's the dangerous part.
Normal tiredness, normal delay, normal distraction.
Yes, nothing feels extreme, so nothing feels wrong.
But inside, something is slowly collapsing.
That's burnout. Not dramatic, just silent.
So what happens after burnout?
People start avoiding goals, not because they don't want them, but because thinking about them feels heavy.
So even ambition starts feeling like pressure?
Exactly. And then overthinking fills the gap.
Why overthinking?
Because action feels difficult. So the mind replaces action with thinking.
So thinking becomes a substitute for doing.
Yes, but thinking doesn't create results. It only creates more thinking.
That's a loop again.
Everything here is loops.
So burnout, overthinking, avoidance, more burnout.
Exactly. That cycle quietly traps people.
Right. Then how does someone even get out of this?
Not by solving everything at once.
Then?
By restarting one small action, even if life feels heavy.
So action breaks overthinking?
Yes, because action brings reality back.
And reality is lighter than imagination?
Always. Because imagination creates 100 problems. Reality usually gives only one.
That's such a shift in thinking.
Yes. And that's why most people don't need more thinking.
They need one small action.
So maybe the real problem was never lack of knowledge?
It was too much thinking and too little doing.
And the way out is not complex.
It's small action, repeated again.
Ray, I think we've talked about habits, comfort, distraction, burnout.
But there's still something left. The real core.
Yeah, I think I know. It's identity again. But not the positive side, the breaking point side.
Exactly. Because before someone changes their life, something inside them has to break first.
Yes, the old version of them stops feeling believable.
That moment is very quiet. It's not dramatic.
It's usually something small, a normal day, a normal thought, but suddenly something clicks, like, I can't keep living like this.
Yes. Not as motivation, but as realization.
And that realization feels uncomfortable because it removes excuses.
Exactly. You stop saying maybe later and start seeing reality clearly.
Right, but that moment is also painful.
Yes, because the mind resists change first. Even good change.
So people feel stuck between two versions of themselves.
Old identity and new possibility.
And that gap feels unstable,
That's the identity breakdown phase.
where nothing feels fully you anymore.
Yes, but that is actually the beginning of rebuilding.
Right, so what happens after breakdown?
Reconstruction. Slowly. One action at a time.
Not instant change, but gradual rebuilding.
Exactly. You don't become a new person in one day. You replace old patterns with new ones.
Right, but that moment is also painful.
Yes, because the mind resists change first. Even good change.
So people feel stuck between two versions of themselves.
Old identity and new possibility.
And that gap feels unstable,
That's the identity breakdown phase.
where nothing feels fully you anymore.
Yes, but that is actually the beginning of rebuilding.
Right, so what happens after breakdown?
Reconstruction. Slowly. One action at a time.
Not instant change, but gradual rebuilding.
Exactly. You don't become a new person in one day. You replace old patterns with new ones.
And repetition builds stability again.
Yes. Each small action becomes a signal. This is who I am now.
So identity is not something you find, it's something you build.
Exactly. And it is built quietly.
Ray, I think this is the most important truth in the whole episode.
Yeah, because it removes the illusion of sudden change.
And replaces it with process.
A slow one, but real.
So maybe change is not about becoming someone else
It's about stopping the old repetition.
and starting a new one.
Again and again.
So if you are listening right now, maybe you're not stuck.
Maybe you're just in between identities.
And that phase feels confusing, but it's not permanent.
Because every identity shift starts exactly like this.
Ray, I think we've reached the end of this conversation, but somehow it feels like the real beginning.
Yeah, because nothing actually changes while you are listening. Change starts when you stop listening and start acting.
And repetition builds stability again.
Yes. Each small action becomes a signal. This is who I am now.
So identity is not something you find, it's something you build.
Exactly. And it is built quietly.
Ray, I think this is the most important truth in the whole episode.
Yeah, because it removes the illusion of sudden change.
And replaces it with process.
A slow one, but real.
So maybe change is not about becoming someone else
It's about stopping the old repetition.
and starting a new one.
Again and again.
So if you are listening right now, maybe you're not stuck.
Maybe you're just in between identities.
And that phase feels confusing, but it's not permanent.
Because every identity shift starts exactly like this.
Ray, I think we've reached the end of this conversation, but somehow it feels like the real beginning.
Yeah, because nothing actually changes while you are listening. Change starts when you stop listening and start acting.
That's the hardest part, though, because listening feels safe.
Yes, but life doesn't change in safety. It changes in decisions.
Ray, if someone is listening right now and they feel stuck, what would you tell them?
I would tell him this. You are not behind in life. You were just repeating an old pattern for too long.
That sounds simple, but it's powerful.
Because most people think they need a new life, but they don't. They need a new start inside the same life.
So, not escape, but change.
Exactly. You don't need to disappear from your life. You need to participate in it differently.
Ray, I feel like this is the final truth of everything we talked about.
Yeah, habits, comfort, distraction, burnout, identity, all of it leads to one thing.
Choice.
Yes, one small choice repeated enough times becomes your entire life.
And that means change is always available, even now.
Always. Not tomorrow, not next month. Now.
Ray, I want to end this on something real. Not motivational, just real.
Go ahead.
If your life feels stuck, it's not because you were broken, it's because you are still living on auto repeat.
And the moment you interrupt that repeat, even slightly, your life starts shifting.
Slowly.
But surely,
So maybe today is not about becoming perfect
it's about becoming aware,
and choosing differently.
just once, and then again tomorrow.
And again after that.
That's how lives change.
Not in one moment, but in repeated choices. So if you are listening right now,
Don't wait for a new life,
start with this one.
because this is the only one you have.
And it's still time.
It's always time.
Thank you for being here with us,
In this quiet space,
where ideas become awareness.
and awareness becomes change.
This is Elle,
And this is Ray.
and you've been listening to the English Island podcast.
Take care of your mind.
And take care of your life. Bye-bye, everyone. See you in next episode.